Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the Hiya Toys Injustice 2 variant Batman and variant Superman, part of their DC line of figures. Not their strongest suit, gonna be right up front. You guys know they send these to me for a review, and I'm always completely honest with you. They send them because I wouldn't buy them otherwise. I don't collect this scale, but I know a lot of you do. And they asked me if I wanted to review them, so I said, sure, that's fine. I don't get paid for this. They don't tell me what to say. They just send them. I mean, I get them for free, but they send them, and I review them however I want. That's how this works, just so that you guys are aware. And I've always said their superhero stuff has not been their strong point. It's been the Predators by far. We'll see if these guys hold up. There's usually some really good stuff about these figures and then some really bad things. Let's see how these guys play out. So let's go ahead and get him off the stand and take a closer look. Alrighty, this guy stands to the top of his head, not counting the ears, just about 4 1/4 inches, which makes him pretty close to, let's say, 11 centimeters. And that's a general measurement. It's not exactly scientific right there, but you get the idea. A little bit big for the 3 3/4 scale. I don't know what that is. Like, is that a thing anymore? Are they still supposed to be 3 3/4 and these guys are too big? Or is that just what this scale is? You guys can let me know. I don't collect this scale. Some people seem perfectly happy with this size, yet I still see comments complaining about the size, so I don't know. All right, so question of the day. Are you watching this video even though you're not into this scale? I'm curious how many people are watching it just to watch it and how many people are actually collecting this scale or something similar to this scale of figure. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the aesthetics first. They generally have really good paint jobs outside of the faces and washes and dry brushing and good detail work, so let's see if that's the case. Batman seems to have some silver dry brushing throughout, some various grays and blacks, some green for his knuckle dusters. The belt looks pretty good. The armor looks pretty good. The body looks pretty good. Let's check Superman. He's got a wash going on the kind of a dimmer blue, duller blue, and then we have just the shinier blue, which looks good. That red looks like it's molded plastic, but they painted the soles. Belt is really clean. S logo is really clean. Shoulder pads are good. Suit details are pretty solid. How about the face? It is not. It looks terrible. The sculpt looks really bad, and then the paint job on top makes it look even worse. That looks really bad. When we get to the accessories, I'll show you the other face. It looks a little better, but still terrible. How about Batman? I mean, it's hidden. Most of his face is hidden, so if you hide those eyes, it would look fine. The mouth part looks okay, but the eyes are terrible. I don't know why he is having so much trouble with the human faces, but they are definitely still having that trouble. That looks really bad. This piece right here appears to be glued on fairly crooked for me, so hopefully you guys don't have that issue, but it may be. For their capes, we have a Batman-shaped cape and a Superman-shaped cape. They're both the same material. It definitely hangs a little flat and stiff, especially at this scale, but it's not too bad. And Batman's is kind of pleated up at the top, and Superman's is just flat. And I think it looks okay at this scale. If you're not too close to them, they're gonna look all right. But those faces are definitely jacked. The bodies look pretty good. Sculpts are solid. Their sculpts are always pretty clean, and that seems to be the case, other than the heads. So it's really just the heads, and then the capes could be better. So I'll give them, not counting the heads, I'll give them like an 8. For this scale, it's really good, but including the heads, it's like a 6. Those heads are just really, really bad. Oh, and just so that you have an idea of how small they actually are, in case you're not sure, here's one of McFarlane's Batman figures. I mean, they're tiny. They are small, so they do get a little bit of leeway, but those faces are still rough. All right, let's talk about the accessories. They both come with one of these blue and black display stands. All the Injustice figures do. They have the little H pieces to connect them if you want to. Superman has an alternate head with the macaroni eyes, and it looks a little better than the standard head, but not by that much. He does also get a couple of fist hands to replace his open hands that come on him in the package. Batman has a bunch more hands. He's got the 2 punchy hands that come on him in the package. Then he has 2 trigger finger hands, 1 batarang gripping hand, and then 1 style pose hand. He does have his grapnel gun, which is very nicely detailed, especially for this scale, and 3 very nicely detailed for this scale batarangs. Not a bad spread of accessories for this size. I don't know what else you would really want other than energy effects for Superman, but that seems like it's okay. So, overall, 8 out of 10 for both of them. Average it out, figure out however you want to. That's fine. Now, for the articulation, we're just going to do one after the other, and I'll give a rating for each one. Batman has ball peg head and neck. I can't get the neck to move inside that collar, but the head moves around pretty well, I would say. That's not too bad. For the shoulders, there's enough soft plastic in there that you can raise the arm no problem. You do get your full rotation. No bicep swivel, though. That comes down here in the elbow, so we have a 90-degree bend in the elbow. a little bit shy of 90. You might be able to squeak out 90, but that's where you get your bicep swivel. And then the wrists are just on ball pegs, so nothing special there. For the torso, my voice cracked. Puberty sucks. So you have your diaphragm joint up there and then a ball peg down here, but none of it really moves. All I can do is get it to twist a little bit, so that is not good. He does have these big plate armor pieces on his thighs, which have his gadgets tucking under them, so you can't really bring his legs out at all to the side. Going forward, seems okay, but because of the gadgets and the plates, it does kick the leg off at a funny angle, so that's pretty janky, not great. Going back, there is no going back. Thigh swivel is there, so that's good. Double jointed knee seems to work okay. Definitely a little bit more loose than it should be. And then for the ankles, you go all the way back and all the way forward. They're very high on the leg, and you get a terrible ankle rocker. So his articulation is very average to bad, so I'm going to give him a 4 for articulation. Not good. For Superman, we have ball peg in the head, and then probably one down in the neck, but I can't get that to move either. Shoulders work nicely. Shoulder pads are connected to the torso, but they flex well in that direction anyway. For the rotation, they're gonna get ugly, but you still get your range well enough. It's just this is terribly ugly. For the elbow, it should be the same as Batman for the most part. Let's see. A little bit less range in the bend, and you get your swivel, but that kind of blows. Wrists are just ball pegs again. For his diaphragm joint, again, I get nothing but a rotation. Same thing for his waist, even though I can't get much rotation out of that either. Articulation's not going well for these guys so far. Hips go out to the side far enough, probably. I say that's okay. Going forward, that's about it. So like a flight pose with the bent knee, that's about what you're gonna get, it looks like. A little bit going back. Thigh swivel is in there. Double jointed knee does work, that's okay. And then for the ankles, that one's stuck. This one works very well. Goes all the way back, far enough forward, and it has a decent enough ankle rocker, so I'll give his a 5, but their articulation is just not that good. So final verdicts on these guys: the heads suck and the articulation is not good really at all. Details are nice, but if you're going to be posing these guys too much or looking at them up close, I'm going to say it's a pass. They just don't look good in the face, and the posing is not there. So there are definitely some benefits, but definitely enough drawbacks that I can't really recommend these guys unless you're just going to kind of stand them there and not look at them too much or touch them, which isn't what they're for, so I cannot recommend them. So final verdict on these guys together, individually, however you want to look at it, I'm going to give them a very generous 5 out of 10. Too many problems for being articulated figures. They can't pose, and they're goofy looking in the faces. Not good. Alright guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, you might want to. I have new videos almost every single day, and thousands already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.